hi guys. Again, I'm Dorota. This is Bronwen Hudson. Did I pronounce it correctly?
So close, Bronwen.
Bronwen. I'm sorry for that.
That's
And
great.
she's an amazing person. I was a guest on her podcast, and I felt like at that point of my life, I was starting to look for people that are nice, kind and intelligent, and I thought, yeah, I want to build like a friend base of my own, and she just invited me to her podcast, and I thought, okay, we can be buddies. Hello there. So that's yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to invite her. uh, and I think I am not visible. Oh, now you can see me. Magic happened here. Okay. Browden, Bronwen.
Beautiful.
Okay, Bronwen. Can you introduce yourself to the people? I think do I see a heartbeat? Okay. Oh my God. Uh, can you introduce yourself to others because I think you will do it best.
Sure thing. No, thank you. Thank you so much for the very sweet intro. I'm so excited to be here. Hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Bronwen Hudson. I'm based in Colorado at the moment, and I am a cybersecurity marketing uh, person, and I love both the technical and the non-technical. And yeah, I was running a podcast for a company called Upticks, and now I'm with an awesome company called Reveal Risk. And I was super stoked to have Dorota onto my podcast. It's called Cybersecurity Stand Up, and that was a great episode, full of amazing nuggets. I feel like one of the reasons I found you initially on LinkedIn, Dorota, was like just the positive messages that you're putting out there that are like such a good mix of, inclusive and welcoming to the cybersecurity community, and then also like really empowering. So I'm in that camp too. I really care so much about getting more women and also queer people into cybersecurity. It's been a fantastic place for me to be and thrive, and I love learning. And so I think all of that brings me together with like I found a great community here. Like great people who want to do awesome things. So happy to find kinship in that with you, Dorota.
Yeah, that really all of those things resonated with me because I like learning and like yeah, I'm friendly and like yeah, this is the perfect community for me, like industry, because
Yeah.
something is changing every time, and we have a lot of yeah, I think now neurodiverse people here, so
Yep.
I think I will connect with those people as well, and also nerdy people, geeky people. So I think I'm all of those things. So, and also kind on top of that. So I thought, yeah, this is perfect. And some of us also like kitties, so I like kitties too. So and cheese. I like food. Never mind. I'm 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 digressing here. My cat just deleted all of the questions.
Amazing.
That's
I,
funny.
oh,
My first question, yeah, tell me about yourself. Like you introduced yourself, but maybe there's more too. Your job title, who is Broden?
yeah. So I have a background in, yeah, don't worry. We both have refreshingly confusing names. Like I got you on that
Yeah, okay.
for sure.
Sorry.
No, we get it. We get it. Yeah, so right now I'm the marketing lead at this company called Reveal Risk. They're a cybersecurity consultancy firm, and it's been awesome. Like my skills that I get to use right now are writing and creating social media posts and doing a lot of video content, which like because you love to learn, I'll just say it's the best. Like I have learned so much in just the past couple months of being at this new role. And one of the things that I like really like doing right now is chatting with my bosses because they're sort of practitioners who have moved over into consultancy for cyber stuff. So I just get to learn from them like all day as well. And I want to bring people along on that journey, which is something that you do too. Like, hey, come learn with me. I'm asking these questions. Let's go like learn together. So it's been awesome to do that. But my background is actually kind of scattered. I have a master's degree in linguistics from Oxford University. So I like went hard on the education front. Yep. But before that, I was living abroad. I was, working as a barista and doing, all sorts of like the young person life as well. I lived in New Zealand and Australia, and that was before I went to the UK. And then I'm American originally, so I was here as well. And I love poetry and literature and reading and books. But I also now in my spare time, I'm super athletic. And so I play a lot of sports. My main one right now is roller derby. So if anyone wants to talk about roller derby for any kind of reason, I will evangelize about that forever and ever. I think a lot of cyber and neurodiverse people have like special interests, and that is definitely my special interest at the moment. Um, so yeah, I've got I think what I will say about myself is that I love being in cyber because of the constant change, like you said, but also because really have found a lot of people that I genuinely connect with that I've met at like RSA and Black Hat and those kind of events, but also that I've just met through LinkedIn. And streaming is such a great way to find um, people who are in the same camp as well. So thank you for inviting me to be part of the online community that you're creating. Like it's already been such a great place for me to be, and I'm really happy to be here.
Yay. Yeah, you're so cute. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted to ask you actually, can you tell me more about roller derby? Because
Cool.
I'm into like I think I'm into my teenage era now because I'm learning all the sports that I didn't learn before. So now I'm learning roller blading, longboarding, and snowboarding. So uh, yeah. So this it has roller in the name, so I'm interested. So can you tell me more?
Yeah, so super, so similar. So you know how like with roller blades, they have what usually like four wheels like right in a row on the bottom of the skate.
Yeah,
So roller skates are like the kind of old school version of that. So they have two wheels in front and two wheels in back. So they're like
gotcha.
that, yeah, like the old school, like what you picture from like the movie Whip It with Elliot Page, or like there's some movies about it. And basically, it's a game that's played on a oval track, either a banked track or flat on the floor. I play the flat on the floor one because it's that's what I do. And everyone's in full gear, helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads. They've got all the safety equipment on, and because it's a full contact sport. So basically, each team is trying to lap the other team um, and get points based on how many people they're past. So there's no ball, which I like because I don't have great hand-eye coordination. So it's a game with no balls, and it's full on, and it's actually like super heavily dominated by women and non-binary people. So I have found also an amazing community in just like the people who play roller derby, because you end up with these incredible, strong, badass, like super powerful, niche, often neurodiverse and queer women as well, like all in the same room playing a full contact sport. So that has been like an amazing part of my life. And I did not learn how to skate when I was a child. So I only learned how to skate like, oh, really? Okay, yeah. So I feel like it's so hard as an adult because, first of
Yeah,
all, the,
I'm learning now. So yeah, sorry, I just go inside your sentence. So I spent last 2 years to just learn how to not be afraid, and this year I had like some kind of a breakthrough because I'm finally just can skate confidently with my back straight, like not afraid that I will fall, without not like without my hands like this. Oh fuck!
yeah, yeah,
So I'm so happy that this happened, and I'm really preparing to do ice skating. So I'm waiting
nice.
like for the winter because I'm also learning hockey ice skating, and so winter I have a plan to learn the hockey style stop. So yeah, okay.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. We were just practicing those last night. I wonder, okay, so tell me how you feel about this because I want to know. When I started to learn how to skate, the biggest lesson that I was like, okay, I got to learn this lesson like immediately is that I'm going to fall. It is 100% guaranteed that I'm going to fall, and I just got to get back up. And that is the only thing that you can do to recover from a fall. And then you do that like 500 times. And I still fall because everybody falls. And that is like the most sort of like basic, but the most profound lesson to learn is that if you fall, and you will fall, all you can do is like get back up. Did you have that kind of like moment as well where you were like, all right, I got to admit this to myself, I'm going to fall?
Yeah, so I actually started learning with ice skating like
Okay.
3 years ago, and then yeah, I didn't know anything. So I last time I did ice skating I was I think 7 years old, And I was terrified. And then I went to the ice, and I was like very slowly. Everyone was like moving fast and like confidently, and I'm like, oh, I'm so scared. And I was holding to the side of the ring, and
Yep.
then I thought, okay, let's move. And then I fell. So it was pretty quick, no brainer.
Yeah.
And then I fell a few times more, and then I fell on my, on my bottom. And I started laughing because I was so scared, and I was like paralyzed, and I was like I have swallowed a stick, you know. I was so stiff and
Oh,
like, yeah, you know. But then I fell and started laughing because falling is not scary. It's like actually it's pretty funny, and like, you know. And then I learned how to get up, and so yeah, actually you're right. So, but it was like with ice skating on rollerblades, I fell maybe like 3 or 4 times. And
that's
I had like knee protectors and elbow
yeah,
protectors because, and like a helmet, because when you
right.
fall on the pavement, it's like yeah, I my brain is important. I need it. So yeah. So
That's exactly how I
I
feel
came
too.
prepared, but it's not as bad on the ice, I think. Now when I'm doing that, it's oh, I'm very proud of myself. Oh, I didn't fall today, so I didn't fall. And then I think, oh, I think I will not fall because I already know how to coordinate my body and like how to move my hips and like yeah. And I think it's never too late to start something new, and you shouldn't be ashamed for trying. And that's what life is. You wake up in the morning and you can learn something new today, and you can make your day amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, to live a bit more and like do things that I never tried before because I was procrastinating my life away. But then I got sick, and it was like a slap in the face from life. And then I'm trying to live my life the best I can. So thank you for giving me the voice on my own stream.
Incredible. Keep it up. Like that's so amazing. And I feel like as an adult, it is so much harder to do that. As a child, you're trying new things all the time because everything is new in your life. So you don't actually have sometimes as much fear, right? Because trying a new sport or trying a new skill, that's just what super normal behaviors are for children. Then as we get to be in adults, we forget what that is like. We forget what it's like to exercise like a new muscle, whether it's physically or mentally, and we get so scared of that because for me, it's a fear of failure that I had to work through. Because it's like I'm so terrified that, for example, I'm gonna fall so much and everyone's gonna think I'm really bad at roller derby. But the only way, the literal only way to get good at roller derby or anything else is by doing it. So you have to be like, okay, that's the fear that I have. If I fail, I probably will deal with that just fine. And also, why would I let fear be the thing that holds me back? If I'm physically, oh my gosh, if I'm physically able, I'm excited about it. Like, screw fear being the thing that's pushing me down. Like, I don't want to live like that. Yeah. So I'm glad you got slapped in the face by life too. Also, I feel like I can see on your shirt, it says something very cool. Can you tell us about that?
uh, yeah, it's from my favorite band. It says, "When you grow up, your heart dies." It's my favorite song of that band. Maybe I can stand up a bit.
Like, yeah,
And
nice.
there's from the movie The Breakfast Club, I think.
Uh-huh.
She is from the movie. So yeah, that's
What's the band?
I showed everyone my boobs. No.
Oh well, you got them.
Yeah, so I actually, yes, I can show them. So yeah, I got them. So I fought for them too. So yeah, that's okay.
There you go. Hell yeah. Love it.
So I wanted to say something, but then you distracted me a bit with the t-shirt.
I'm
But
sorry, sorry.
yeah, it's okay, it's okay. It's a cool t-shirt and a cool band. My favorite band is called Gunship. So yeah, and the song is called, yeah, as I mentioned, when you grow up, your heart dies. So yeah, maybe I can Google and share it in the chat or something.
Cool.
But okay, thank you for sharing the roller derby. I think that's pretty cool, and like I never heard about this sport. I will Google it later and like watch some YouTube videos. And yeah, can you tell me what makes Bronwen smile and what brings you joy?
When we first talked on my podcast, I had so much fun with you, first of all. Like, I think that one of the things that makes me smile, as you can probably tell, I'm a very smiley person. Many things bring me joy. Almost everything brings me joy. And talking to intelligent, smart people, I mean, that's pretty peak experience for me. Like, I just love to. So I'm a secret introvert. So I come across as sort of like yeah, gregarious and like I like to be friendly and like inclusive and all that kind of rigmarole, but I'm absolutely the kind of person who needs to go and lie down for several hours in the quiet to recover from such situations. So
Yes.
introvert over here. And but yeah, I mean, obviously I've got all of my friends and my community within roller derby, my friends and community within cyber. All of these things bring me joy. I love being outside. I've got an incredibly cute dog, really excited about how much joy he brings me. His name is Icky, but he's really, really cute. He's sleeping right now, so I keep looking over at him. So that's bringing me joy too, seeing him relaxed. Um, yeah, and I'm a huge. Here are some fun facts: the things that bring me joy: coffee, sparkling water, grapes, um,
I love
uh,
that.
marshmallow fluff. It's very underrated. Cool glasses. I don't have my like super cool ones on right now, but I have the hashtag that I kind of created, which is not really being used on LinkedIn, is the Cool Glasses Club, because there's some really really cool people in cyber who have like amazing frames. Like these were the ones I was rocking last year. Like big old crazy fun frames. So little ways to showcase our personalities when we're representing our professional lives. That brings me joy, being authentic and being yourself. um, yeah, and doing stuff like this, talking to my friends about things we're learning and hopefully helping some other people get excited about it, or part of the giveaway. That's really cool, sharing the knowledge. I love that.
Actually, yeah, you kept on saying things that reminded me what I wanted to ask you. Uh, and then I forgot again.
What's
Oh
around
my
it?
God. Oh my God, I'm tired. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about you said, uh, actually, there's a question in the chat that is similar, but then I will remember for sure. Can you give us some examples of how this mindset of not being afraid has helped you also professionally?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. Do you want to answer that first too?
No, 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 go ahead.
Okay, well, I think it's been the biggest game changer for me, like maybe ever in my professional life, because so I think it feels like there are a couple of things that in the past have held me back in my professional life. Fear of failure and like just fear in general. Imposter syndrome, that's a pretty common one. Like doubting my own abilities and stuff. And I realized that the common theme there was just doubt. So I was like so scared that I was gonna like fail or whatever, that I would just doubt fully if I was even able to do something. And then I heard on like a podcast, I think that, or from a therapist, I can't really remember, that what I'm doing is worshiping at the altar of doubt. And for some reason, that phrase really struck with me. And I was like, I don't want to be someone who spends most of my time thinking about how I might not be able to do something, because that's the thing that holds me back from saying yes to projects. It holds me back from even just trying, like, and not worrying about perfection. Those are those thought patterns hold my behaviors back. So when it comes to my professional life specifically, I was just not applying for jobs. I wasn't trying to get promoted. I wasn't trying to get recognition from my leaders. All of those things are incredibly important for any kind of like professional development or moving forward in a career path. And I just wasn't doing them because I was too scared. I was like, why would anyone want little old me to lead a program or to create a strategy? Like, and no one was asking me those questions. It was just me telling myself a story about what I did or didn't expect in my professional life. And all of that was just based on like self-doubt. So I don't know if that's the same for you, but that's what I'm and also will say I'm definitely still working on all of that. Doesn't like It's not like something you conquer, then you're like, hey, I'm all good over here now. It's like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, I think maybe it's very human, but I think a lot of female, like women, have that fear as well.
100%.
And I had, yeah, for my fear was, yeah, I had a lot of fears actually. But one of them was fear of heights. It was like paralyzing fear. And when I was even walking upstairs that had holes in between, like like the individual stairs, I was afraid, and it was not that high. So it was like really paralyzing. So then I thought, yeah, this is holding me back, and I don't want. anything to hold me back. I want to have a happy life, and I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't want to say a loser, but like someone that cannot accomplish things because he has some, I don't know, fears and boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I did was jump out of a plane with a parachute. I was scared shitless, but I'm really proud of myself that I did that because I did conquer that fear, and I'm a bit scared still because it's like, yeah, I want to live, and it's like helping me not to get into super dangerous situations like jumping out of a plane. But
Fair.
yeah, I'm not as scared as I was before, so it really helped me to, like, I don't know, change my life and be a better person, like, I don't know, blah blah blah,
Amazing.
yeah, I can talk for hours about this, but yeah, but what I actually discovered, I was also scared of, like, people or what others will think,
Yeah.
because that's what, like, I don't know, in my family. Oh, look, some I don't know how to give that example, but I have my mother wasn't like the kindest person, and sometimes she would frame it in a way. Oh, look, what others will think. Like, look at you. Like, I don't know what. I don't remember the exact example, but it was something like from my family, from my childhood. So,
Hmm.
but then I realized that yeah, I saw a meme, or like it was some motivational quote, and it was really helped me a lot because it said, uh, "No one cares," and then you can react on this in two ways. No one cares. That's how I was reacting up to that point. Like, oh, like as in a victim mindset, like
Yep.
being sad about that, but then also, fuck, no one cares, and then it's like this is like the most freeing realization in your life, that you can be whoever you want and have, I don't know, green hair, earrings everywhere on your face, I don't know, tattoos. You can even wear, I don't know, a pigeon shit on your head. Yeah, it's a bad example, but like no one will give a rat's ass, what, it's your life. You can do whatever you want with your life, and if you are not bringing any distress to the, I don't know, societal, I don't know, the way the society is, you will not burn, I don't know, buildings, bomb places, I don't know, kill people. I think you're good. No one
You're
really cares how you look like. You can express yourself and be whoever you really want to be. I even walked the streets and, like, the Wonder Woman dress with the cape. No one gave a shit. So and that felt really really wonderful, because I felt, oh, I'm myself now.
Yes. Heck yeah.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
so it was like something that really helped me to realize that no
Yeah.
one really looks at you, no one is really judging you, because they are really tired and in a hurry and overthinking their own lives, and
Yes.
probably thinking about what Stephanie told them 3 days ago, and
Yeah.
like things like that. So no one, yeah, and sometimes I even, like, when I was a teenager, someone was laughing. I thought they were laughing at me, like,
Uh-huh.
because something that I was, I don't know, looked at, or like, but yeah, it's not true. It's just your mind playing games with you, and your imposter syndrome lying to you. So
Yep.
just, yeah, just be yourself and enjoy your life. Life is short. So just, yeah,
Totally. Totally
do
agree.
whatever you want. Yeah. So,
Whatever
and
you want. I think I love that because the moment of like, oh wow, you're right, like no one cares is very freeing. And then for me, the key is remembering that. So like if I hear someone laughing and I have that first thought of like, ooh, oh my God, are they laughing at me? I think it's okay to like admit to yourself that you can have that first thought. But to me, the second thought is the crucial one. Because if your mind can kind of watch itself enough to be like, hey, whoa, they're probably not laughing at you, that's the key thought. That's the like one where you're like, oh, actually, hey, like, oh, look, they're laughing at the thing that's over there, or it had nothing to do with me. Like, because that process is so internal, it actually is so much my mindset and like what stories I'm telling myself. It really helps me to have that moment where my thought can catch itself and ignore thought one usually and go with thought two. Thought two is the one that counts. I can't control thought one because that's like my emotion, that's like my little like response that's happening, but thought two, that's mine, that's what I own, that's my decision. Yeah.
that's, yeah, that's really smart. And also, like, I think sometimes the thought one is, yeah, I will give my example. So that could be like the little Dorothy, that she was like really hurt with something that, yeah, traumatized her or whatever you want to word, whatever word you want to use there. And then she like it's like the wound that is not totally healed, like
Yes.
reliving itself. So then the what you have to do is uh, not go deeper into that feeling, but like notice it and say, okay, is it like grief, or is it like sadness, or is it anger, or is it hurt? Notice that feeling, and then say to that feeling, oh, okay, okay, I see you. I thank you for being here, and like saying that this is something that still triggers me, or something that I still need to heal.
Hmm.
And thank you, and I'm good. I'm going to handle it from now on. You can sometimes journal it and write it down to work on that thing, but just don't dwell on it too much. Just move with your life. I don't think life is worth like overthinking, like not sleeping in the night because you're overthinking something that is like not really important, something in the past, and the past is already dead. So we cannot change anything that in the past. We can just learn it from it and like do it better next time.
Yep. True that.
Yeah, and I have a question in the chat. Is that okay? Or you wanted to still follow?
Whatever you like. Yeah, I'd love to see what's in the chat.
Can you tell us more about your job? Actually, yeah, I wanted to ask that about your job because we are talking about unicorns and rainbows, but yeah, actually that's
I know,
cyber security and like you need to get serious here. So, okay, can you tell us more about your job? What you do exactly every day in cybersecurity, and
right?
what do you recommend for someone who is doing her first steps in the work world in cyber? Oh,
Oh, fantastic
so
question.
that's a
So,
she. Oh, welcome.
yes, you're in the right place. Stay here. You're doing great. So I started off, I'll tell you a little about how I came up in cyber. Not that I'm like up, but more like how my journey has gone. So I started doing technical writing and blog writing as a freelancer when I was working probably like 5 years ago now. And because I had my honestly like portfolio from like college and grad school stuff I just written before, I used those as my writing examples to like sort of prove to people that I was a good writer. It's one of my major skill sets, I would say. And uh, by writing articles about, I don't know, network analysis, about like password spraying, about compromised credentials, like kind of topics that are part of cyber but not like super technical, I was able to learn. So I felt like I built my vocabulary. I got kind of like an awareness of just how big cybersecurity is as an industry and yet how small, and how you can like niche down really fast. So by writing about sort of like the sort of scope, I was like, okay, there's a lot going on in here. And then I got hired as a social media manager because I had these skills of writing, but also because during initial COVID lockdowns, I had made videos of myself roller skating because that's what I was doing. And I was able to fold those sort of skills together into, making cool social media posts about whatever the company was doing, whether that's a new product, a new uh, threat that's been found, and we're doing like a threat bulletin about it, vulnerability management, sort of like big topics like that. A lot of my work was writing about those for a broader LinkedIn or social media audience, which I really highly recommend if you're interested in communication in cyber, or really it's a great skill to have in any aspect of cyber, because being able to explain something technical or complex to like a CEO, or also just like your grandmother or like your parents who need to know about password security, that skill to be able to translate complicated stuff to like more understandable is absolutely crucial. There's a lot of folks in cyber, I'm sure you know, Dorota, like who are brilliant. They have technical prowess out the wazoo. And I'm someone who's kind of like, I consider myself in the middle. I'm like a translator to be able to bring that information to a broader scope. So sorry, this is long-winded. Now I'm working as basically what feels like a next step up from that. So I'm the marketing lead for Reveal Risk, cool company, and doing a lot of the same kind of materials in terms of the day-to-day, writing blogs, writing emails, reaching out to our newsletter, writing statement of works or product releases, that kind of stuff. And a lot of my content that I actually have the chance to create, I'm trying to make it educational, because that's really the key. I'm not trying to like sell of course, when you work a marketing job, you're selling like the services of the company to some extent. But what's really valuable and important when it comes to social media is actually creating something that is of value to someone. And the easiest way to do that, and what I feel very passionate about, is providing education to others, whether it's introductory, whether it's like a deep dive into something super technical. Being able to provide that for free on social media is like what I'm all about. So also do like podcast stuff, video editing, all those kind of like skills have come together for me in the actual job. But I do feel like the core of it is learning about new services, new attack vectors, new threats, and then being able to distill them down into like what's important, what do people need to know, which I feel very passionate about as well. So that works well for me. Yeah.
I'm so, so sorry. I feel a bit envious because of this second because I want your job as well, and I think I will be really good at it. And uh, now I'm starting to reconsider my life choices here, yeah, because actually I feel like I'm natural on LinkedIn, and that brings me joy to like share the knowledge and write the posts.
Yep.
And sometimes people ask me, "Oh, how do you do it?" I don't know. I practically live on LinkedIn because it's like, I don't know, it's fun. I like it. I enjoy
Totally.
myself there. So it's yeah, that's how I do it. And there's another question in the chat. Uh, Based on your professional experience, what is oh yeah, I will read it, but you can read it too. Maybe you don't totally get my accent or something, but yeah. So what is uh, what is or would be your strategy for designing marketing campaigns targeted for, let's say, small companies or prospects that do not seem to care much about cybersecurity or not inherently find security particularly important? That's a very good question.
Oh, such a good question because it is hard, isn't it? There's this group of people who like even if they have heard of cybersecurity, they just know that it's probably about keeping my password safe and they don't want to like do anything like create a program around it or do any internal awareness, security training or that kind of stuff. And it's sad. So I think there's two main strategies that you can take when creating a marketing campaign specifically aimed at those folks. And I really have a strong preference for one of them, which you will hear soon. So the first way you can do it is through fear. And I don't like that. Fear is about telling people why they need to be afraid, like more afraid than they already are, and then trying to sell them something based on their reaction. I don't like that. It's like
That
saying,
that's manipulating.
yeah, it's not great. It's not inspiring. But I will say for marketing, it can be effective. That's why
Okay.
people do it. That's why people are like, hey, just so you know, like if you get, you know, pinged with a ransomware attack, you could lose millions of dollars. You could lose your whole business and all of your financial, security could be destroyed in a matter of hours. And here's the thing, that is kind of true, right? Like bad things do happen when businesses are attacked through cyber, nefarious cyber pathways. But I don't think that's kind marketing and it doesn't seem like very helpful marketing to me. So I go often the other direction, which is educational. And what I mean by that is providing so the actual issue isn't that people don't necessarily care about cybersecurity, is that they don't know why they should care. We haven't given them great information about what they can actually do and why and how it would protect them. They don't. Why would they know that? They own a small retail store in Boston. Like the average person doesn't have access to this kind of information, and there hasn't been a lot of sort of like top down, information from like governments or from educational bodies to really explain the context of why you do need to secure your endpoints, let's say, or anything else. So I like to go that direction, which is educational and point out too. So I feel like when you identify that you have a potential audience that doesn't really care about cyber, the crucial thing is to ask yourself, well, what do they care about then? And often it's things that we all care about: safety, security, money, time. So those core messages of like, what will cybersecurity do for you kind of end up being the same. They will save you money, they will save you time, they will protect your family, they'll protect your, financial security, and tuning into those messages and then saying, I get all of those. I have the same concerns and here are things that can help you and explaining why. Like there's this this is okay. I was about to go on a rant. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect in cyber of like people who are already in cyber think that everyone else doesn't care about it, but that's not really true. Like it's our responsibility as the purveyors of knowledge to provide that context and explain it in a way that makes sense to someone who's never heard of a port before, like that's on us. So when it comes to marketing, I go education, not fear, and I see those as like the kind of the two main branches that people often follow. It's my long answer.
Yeah, that's a very good answer, and it really shows that you're passionate about that, and you really love your job and like what you're doing. So I'm really happy for you that you found that and that you had that job, and also congratulations because you're now the marketing lead. So
Right.
yeah, I think that's pretty new. I saw it I think like a month ago. So yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks. One thing I just remembered that I wanted to say too is that back to the question about getting into cyber and stuff, I will say that the community for women in cybersecurity, WESIS, it's a nonprofit organization. They partnered with ISC2 or ISC squared, depending on how you say it, and they offered basically a free pathway into the certification of in cybersecurity. It's like the kind of most basic one. I would actually really recommend it because especially if you're a woman trying to get into the industry, that I think was a good fit in terms of building that umbrella of like what's considered to be part of cybersecurity, and then also what are some of the jargon and the vocabulary that you might need to piece together like where you want to be in cyber. So I would shout out to that program and to WESIS because that was a good fit for me when I was working on leveling up in cybersecurity.
And yeah, now I have actually very a lot of questions here. So yeah, how much time do you have?
I probably have another 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay, so okay, I have to be quicker.
Oh,
Uh,
hurry. This is great. We're just hanging out.
yeah. Okay. Do you have any interesting or challenging stories from your experience as a community manager, podcast host, or content creator?
I mean, so much. And I feel like a lot of this you'll understand too, because a lot of the experiences like podcasting and reaching out to people about streaming or podcasting, like developing these relationships, um, I love it because I get to interact with cool, smart humans. That is the core of it for me. Like I get to interact with those people and learn from them. And I feel like it's a privilege to be around people and to take their time. So I feel like that's overall a wonderful experience. But what I will say though is that, and Durot, I kind of want to hear, I don't know if you want to talk about it on stream, but I want to hear how this is going for you because when I was doing a lot more podcasting, it was so time consuming. I was doing everything myself, all of the outreach, all of the, editing, and like just so much was on my back. And it was way more time consuming than I thought. But I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I'd love to hear how it's going for you too.
Yeah, actually, it's very time consuming because like when I'm on the stream, I'm sometimes still nervous and I use the word like as a comma in the sentences. So it's really annoying to have someone say like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 30 times in 5 minutes. So yeah, I spent a lot of time editing, like cutting those out.
Yep.
And sometimes there's a stream that had like the duration of 2 hours, and I spent like 8 hours editing that to share it on YouTube. So yeah, that's super time consuming. So I just had to make sure that I invite guests that are amazing and I don't have to edit too much. I mostly edit my side of the uh, podcast actually. So yeah, but I'm really happy that I did it because it brings me a lot of joy. But
Yeah.
sometimes I just yeah I feel like yeah I'm tired. I want to rest. But yeah, then I have already the meeting scheduled. So yeah, it's something that you have to realize that you just cannot yeah take a vacation off. Yeah, so you kind of it's yeah I'm trying to do it in the way that it works for me and
Yeah.
it works for me first and then for everyone else. So
March.
if yeah, I'm tired, then I'm trying to schedule it in a way that I can rest. So, for example, I will be going to two conferences at the end of October and then at the beginning of November, and then flying to Canada and from Canada to Copenhagen, and then going back to Poland. And so I probably will be jet lagged because like from straight from
Oh,
Montreal, I'm landing in Copenhagen and I have a presentation on the same day and like few hours later. So I don't know. I probably will need a lot of coffee because I will not sleep during the flight. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about that one because that might be that might be a big failure. But fingers crossed it'll be okay. So then I scheduled like I won't have no streams in the following week, so I will need to have some rest. And the jet lag is really
oh, it'll get you. Yeah.
and yeah, it really helped me to like because I had a lot when I lost the job. I had a lot of creative energy that I didn't know where to put it, and this really is really a good outlet for me.
Yeah. Love
Uh,
that. Love
so
that. Yeah. I
uh,
love all of that. I think, what did you just make me think? Before cre I do the thing too where I'm like thinking of things. I have to go
yeah,
back
yeah,
in my mind.
it's
Um,
okay.
yeah,
Can I ask a question in the meantime?
yeah, definitely. That would be great.
What qualities do you believe all highly successful cybersecurity professionals share, or maybe should have?
Whoa, that's a good one.
I think
Uh,
maybe I for detail for me and like thinking outside of the box, like the
yeah,
hacker mindset kind of a
uh-huh.
mentality.
Yep, I think, yeah, I mean, hacker mentality is a great way to put it. Like, how can I improve this? How can I avoid this?
Or break it.
This is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Instinctual questions to ask. I think we might have already said it a little bit because everyone that I have met who is successful in cyber is a curious person. They like to learn, or at least they're open to learning. Even if they don't actively like it, they're still open to it. And they haven't stayed static. They haven't done that thing. They're like, you get pigeonholed into a job and you're like, this is what I do now. Everyone who's out there is like trying to stay on top of whatever blanket of knowledge is available. And maybe that does go really well with hacker mindset. Like, what can I find that's new? What can I find that's different? How can I improve my own mind? Those feel like very similar tracks in the mind. Yeah.
Uh, and
Yes.
what if you have remembered what you wanted to say, then go ahead. But then I will ask another question.
Feel free to ask another. It's long gone.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry to hear that. What are the challenges you faced as the community manager or podcast host? Yeah, actually, you answered kind of the question already with the time-consuming part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think content as a whole is more time consuming than people realize. Hire a social media manager. You probably need one. That's my big advice. And like don't just think that social media is this cute little thing that you can hand off to someone. Like your content matters.
Yeah,
Invest in it and find someone who's like willing to put time into that because that's the most external facing kind of material you can be creating, like communications, social media, public relations. Those fields really matter in cyber because that's how your message is getting out into the world.
that's a very good answer,
Yeah.
actually. Uh, if there is one myth that you could debunk in cybersecurity, what would it be?
Mm. I think, okay, so I feel like this one um, is topical to the month we're about to enter. So you know how October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And
Okay.
basically, the minute October hits, all of the cyber companies are like, here's 5 tips that you need to know about cybersecurity, this kind of thing. But I feel like we're really missing the mark on it. I feel like it's not going well. We should rebrand it a little bit because a lot of the material that I see is aimed at the technology that we have fixing a problem, right? So it's like, here, you need to protect your laptops. Buy this product and we will scan your laptops and everything will be fine and fixed. But in most cases and in most companies, that is not the problem. The tech is not the problem and the availability of the tech is not the problem. It's user habits, and it's process. That's the three that people really talk about is people, process, and technology. That's the sort of like classic trifecta that you'll hear about as how to solve problems. And with cyber specifically, there's such emphasis on the tech. Obviously, we're all talking about AI. We're all talking about, how these tools, whether it's CrowdStrike or LastPass, or like insert the tech that you're talking about in the specific circumstance here. But in many cases, tools don't actually get used in the way that they're intended to be used, and internal teams don't have the knowledge on even how to use those tools effectively, even if they did have the budget to bring them in. So I would encourage someone who is interested in working in cyber to be someone who focuses on process and on the human side of it, not just get into the super nitty gritty of technical like tool development, because that's happening. That's already happening. We need to like refocus on how we use the tools to actually secure things. But I think people are ready to hear that. I think people are ready to be like, I don't want to spend like $4 million on this tool anymore. Wouldn't it be better, in my opinion, to spend $1 million fixing our internal processes of like, when we do notice a log entry that's like funny, what do we actually do? And who knows it? Are we paying someone the right amount to work the number of hours that we need them to work to do something about the issues that we're noticing? Yeah, what do you think? Because you're so much more of a practitioner than I am. Like, what's your kind of take on that?
Yeah, yeah, actually, that's what I wanted to say, that buying like the newest, coolest tool, like I don't know, the thing that every competitor has, will not actually resolve your issues if you don't have people that will work with that tool or have knowledge how to use it, and yeah, they're ed educated with, yeah, and they have the right skills and like, so that's actually very, very good answer that what that you just said. Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
think.
you agree. I'm glad you agree. Yeah. What do you think about Cybersecurity Awareness Month?
Yeah, I think it's a bit less maybe women month. So everyone shares posts on like women and like share tags a lot of women on LinkedIn, and I don't think it's doing
Yeah.
anything. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I kind of don't like those posts a bit, but yeah, just never mind. So, are there any challenges you had to face as a woman working in cyber? I think that's a connecting question, but
Yeah. I mean, I think whatever you're imagining, it's absolutely happened, is what I'll say. Of course there's problems within the industry. I think most of them that I've experienced have to do with the core idea that women are just respected less than men. And whether that's in your soft skills or your technical skills, that comes across. And this new company that I'm at, the biggest green flag that happened in my interview process that I was like, oh, this is a yes from me immediately, is that I was clearly respected. My opinion was being sought. When I answered a question, people actually were listening to it, and my expertise was valued. And those are things that I could feel within 3 questions. And if I can feel them and be like, oh my God, wow, what an amazing feeling to be respected as a person in the universe, I hope that showcases how rare that feeling actually is in most other situations. Like, I want that to be the normal experience, that people feel respected. And as a woman in cyber, that has usually not been the case for me. And I am a huge intersectional, passionate feminist. And I am extremely willing to have conversations with people about how they can learn more about how to work on their unconscious bias, what they can do to help women in certain industries, what they can do to help people of color in industries, what they can do to help disabled people in certain industries. I'm extremely passionate about those topics as well, and believe fully they should go beyond the awareness month that we've decided each one gets, and that's it. But I think the best thing that I can do at the moment is continue providing education, continue supporting other women who are actively in the industry. And I can continue being a kind but straightforward person when it comes to speaking to men who clearly don't respect me that much. Because I think the reality of what I've learned there is that whether or not someone respects me, actually, I don't have a lot of control over that.
Yeah.
I know that I am worthy of respect. I'm not going to spend time changing someone's mind. That's definitely a waste of my time. I'm just going to keep being super awesome, and that's their business. Yeah.
Yeah, it also like reflects on them, not on you. So yeah,
Exactly.
why waste your time on like dwelling on that? And also like what you just said, I didn't feel like it kind of like reappeared again in my brain that this is actually true, that what I was looking for is like a good working environment. And what I actually realized during the interviews that I was having recently, that I was looking for respect. And then I felt like if I am not respected in the interview that I'm having right now, and they're like, it doesn't really matter what gender, but it usually were two men like talking with me, and I feel like they are like looking like I'm below them in a way. So I felt then I felt that like because I'm a very strong empath, so I felt that I didn't really like called it like what kind of a label that is like what feeling, but I didn't feel good. So then if I'm feeling like judged and I don't feel good like talking with people, there's like the energy is off.
Yeah.
My brain is doing something. I don't know, is it to save me or whatever? Is that I'm starting to self-sabotage myself, and then I bump the technical questions, so that I'm starting to answer in the wrong way. So it's kind of like some kind of a self-defense mechanism of my brain, I think that this is not a good environment. We've been in toxic environment for a lot of years, Dorothy, and you've been mobbed and you've been like this and this and this. You haven't been respected for many years. We need to find a good environment for you. So it's like the kind of my
Oh,
brain is helping me here. So yeah, yay, good job.
huge, huge.
So, but
Absolutely.
actually, what I realized for the last interviews that yeah, I'm really talking with those companies to follow in like the next steps was that they respected me, because if I feel like the vibe is off, and then if I bump the technical interview, that's a no-brainer. So they just don't want me. But usually, then I just say like at the end of the interview, yeah, I'm not going. So they say, oh, next steps. Oh yeah, yeah, that's okay. No next steps necessary. So, so
That's a
I'm trying to find like the good place for me, and not like a job, like any job. I want the job because I'm super loyal, so I want to stay somewhere longer. So, and I want to grow. So yeah, okay, let's move along. What is the next question is, what is your favorite hacker movie, and why does it resonate with you?
That's so cute. So, I actually just wrote a blog with my new coworkers. There was so a couple days ago it was like National Civic Hacking Day or something. So I love an excuse as a social media manager, love an excuse to create some content around that. So I asked everyone like what their favorite hacker movies were, like why they liked them, like what their favorite scene was, that kind of stuff. So I'll send you that blog. Actually, let me just drop you the link for fun. Um, and there were some really interesting answers because I think folks who have been like hackers for 20 years or whatever,
Yeah.
they get it in a different way. Like I'm still, let's be real, very new to the industry, and I'm not a super like movie buff either. So a lot of it for me was like, oh, these are actually like this is basically a list of movies that like I need to see, which is kind of fun as well. So my favorite overall is like anything with Keanu Reeves in it. Just if he's in there, that's my boy. That's I'm in love with that man. Like, oh my gosh, such a fan. So if we're counting like the matrix, I'll put the matrix in there. But hang on, let me drop you this link. I'm gonna drop it in the chat here.
Actually, Matrix is my favorite movie, and my favorite TV show is Mr. Robot. So
Oh, nice. I mean, incredible choices. The other ones that we had, what was theirs? Okay, so the one that I use as like the cover image and stuff that I think is kind of like the OG is just Hackers. And I realized that it came out when I was 2 years old, which is hilarious. But it's so good, and it's freaking young Angelina Jolie in that
Yeah,
movie. Like,
she's so pretty.
oh, cool. I know, and her little pixie cut. Like, so that's a great movie, and I think it has the right balance of like completely unrealistic, but also kind of gets the mentality, like hack the planet. Like it kind of it's a little bit more rebellious and like I don't know, anarchist, which I like. And there was one. Okay, so the one that I want to watch that I haven't seen yet, but sounds really good is The Net. So
Oh yeah, with Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's
I have that
it's
queued
a
up.
bit unrealistic, but it's really good. I like this. And I like the actress, so I kind of watched all of her movies too.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. I feel like Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves are also a fantastic duo when they act together. So I'm a fan
Yes.
of that too. Yeah, nice. Love that.
Yeah. So high five because we
Yeah,
just bonded
yeah.
over our favorite actors there. So can you, if we're talking about hacking and like things like that, can you share a life hack that you find particularly useful? It's a bit of a curveball question. It's not really cybersecurity related, just like your, I don't know, kitchen uh, things that you do in the kitchen or with your plants or whatever. But maybe you have something because that's always interesting too.
Yeah, so I do, and I've been using it a lot recently, which is why I can think of it so immediately. So in working on my sort of like mental health, basically, I realized that there are a lot of things that I have to do that I don't love doing. Dishes, brushing my teeth, showering when I'm tired, like cleaning up the clothes from my floor, all of those things that are like, I have to do them every day and I don't really want to. I've really worked hard on catching that first thought of like, oh, I don't want to like brush my teeth or whatever. But I do actually. I want to do that because I love myself and I want to keep my teeth. So rephrasing that and saying, I don't have to brush my teeth. I get to brush my teeth is my like change there. That's my hack. If there's something that I like don't want to do in the moment, but I know that long term I will, like cleaning the leaves off of the porch. I get to clean the leaves off the porch. Like that is a privilege to be alive and have enough time to clean the leaves off my porch. That is awesome. And that, I mean, it probably, I feel like it does come slightly easier to me because I'm not depressed right now. Like I have good mental health. So it's easier for me to have those thoughts in the beginning. But the phrase I get to is what I consider the life hack part of that.
Yeah, it's actually very life. Yeah, I came to this myself because yeah, I was sick and then I wasn't, and like all of the things that felt normal to me, like walking, because when I was sick, my like stopped working, and I felt like I'm 80 years old, and stairs, like walking like one floor of stairs took me like 30 minutes. So and I couldn't even ride my bike then. So I was when I got to ride my bike again, I was like the happiest person on earth. It was like, oh my God, I can my legs hurt, I can walk, I can ride my bike, I can go to the store, I can and do like yeah, because you start appreciating every little thing when you yeah went through like I don't know, near death kind of like experience, or like even if you don't and you are depressed or something, and then you are not depressed because I don't know, you got better. And so yeah, that's a super smart thing to say, a very good life hack. Thank you for sharing that. I think it will be useful to a lot of people. And yeah, I have now two questions, and they're like kind of connected to each other, and but you don't have to answer uh, the second one if you don't want to. So just yeah, what do you feel was your biggest win in life? And the second one, what is the biggest mistake you've ever made, and how did you recover from it?
Wow, zinger of a question. Wow. Okay, let's go with biggest win. Wow. I think my biggest win was real. So in college, I had this moment where I think in retrospect, I was just realizing that I was neurodivergent. But really, what it was in the moment was being like, oh. everyone else is communicating on two levels most of the time. One level is their like the front facing stuff, like where you'd say something but you'd mean something slightly different. And I realized that I'd always been like playing games socially kind of with myself. And I was like, oh, it doesn't have to be an uncomfortable thing where I'm like trying to analyze everyone's behavior all the time. I can just get really good at doing it myself. And because that's the way that I can see like social success being in my path. So I stopped analyzing and like criticizing myself and instead started focusing on how to come across as the person that I wanted to come across as, which really is just a version of being authentic. But for some reason, that moment in like during college, I can just remember it happening. And it was kind of a breakthrough because like that no one cares moment. It's that moment. Is like, wow, what a relief. What a sense of freedom that I have now socially to stop caring what everyone else is doing in terms of their levels of communication and like, are they really saying what they mean? Are they holding something back? Are they judging me? All of those feelings that I was, that I think we all deal with.
Yeah.
Moving from that to like, oh, actually, not only do I not really like care what's happening there, but like it's something that I can get good at. I don't know. I think that was a win for me. And then my big mistake. I definitely have made a lot of mistakes, uh, but I don't regret anything that I've done because I genuinely feel like all of our mistakes or things that it's just the past, right? I can't do anything about it. So the best thing I can do is learn from it and be like, cool, I would love to not have to learn that lesson again. Let me just learn it this time. Like that's the crucial thing, isn't it? Biggest mistake though?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it would be nice not to relive the cringy moments in the middle of the night, right?
It's true, yeah, because there are just so many. Like I think that I mean, I could think of a million times where I was like awkward.
Yeah, one of the guests actually answered that question in a like I had many like situations like that in my life, but I don't really think any of them were mistakes because they made me the person who I am today. And like I felt like, oh, this is so beautiful, this is so true.
That's
And
exactly
it's like you just learn from them and you move along, and I don't know, try not to do it again.
totally. Okay, I actually did just think of one because it's funny and I can remember walking. Okay, so I was walking up a street with an ex-boyfriend at the time, and there were these two like poles with a chain like between them, like to keep cars out of the road. And I wanted to step over the lowest part of the chain. But I was like holding my boyfriend's hand or whatever. So I went to go step over the chain, but because I was holding his hand, my foot caught on like the back of the chain, and I just like, bam, like really hard fall over with my foot caught on this chain in front of a full restaurant of people. It was very embarrassing because it felt like I had made a really dumb mistake by just not fully stepping over this chain that was right there visually. But I will say, since that day, I have not tried to do that again. Now I go around or I stop fully and then put one leg over and then put the other. I don't try to like hop it. So that's a mistake that I made that I definitely have learned from. And now I don't try to jump over chains anymore.
Yeah, so that's something to be proud of, I think.
Really profound example for your Friday,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, really good example. And I'm not sure why this question is at the end because usually I'm running out of questions now of my list. I actually skipped some of them because you said you don't have as much time as I thought you have. But this question is, yeah, strangely more complex that I would imagine it to be at the end. Okay, so how is it that cybersecurity spending is increasing, but breaches are still happening? Like, yeah, what do you think about that?
It's actually like that's a really good topic to be bringing up. So one of the reasons why I think they are happening still and probably will continue to happen is because every time a breach happens, there's like long-term repercussions, and the blast radius is often larger than people realize. And one of the examples that I have like a lot of sort of experience writing about is breaches that have happened either because of, or the breach is a release of a bunch of personally identifiable information, right? So it's like somebody's gone in, they've hacked like a hospital or something like that. And now that group or person has all of your insurance information, all your passwords from your health login, they've got your social security number, and they've got all of that. And then what happens often is a nefarious criminal will either sell that information to other people who want to do bad things with it, or they might just put it up for free on the dark web, or they'd sell pieces of it off. And every time that happens, the information is just like more and more freely available. And there's repercussions to that. So basically, if one small breach happens, those pieces of information can be used to have additional breaches happen. So I feel like there's this chain reaction effect of of data being breached and being released. And then because people also like do things like reuse their passwords for all of their accounts, there can also be these individual chain reactions of like your bank password getting compromised, which means that also your school password, your home account, your smart fridge, and all of your other, your kids' bank passwords. I don't know, I'm kind of like making things up, but my point is that the chain reaction happens quickly and for a longer period of time than people, I think, usually believe. Um, and then I would also go back to the main schism in cyber, I feel, between the technology and like the people in the process, because the tools don't work unless we're understanding how to use the tools. So you could get like a bajillion, vulnerability alerts from this tool, but unless people know what to do about them, know how to prioritize, know how to respond, it doesn't mean that we're actually providing a layer of protection for companies or for people, which makes me feel kind of depressed a little bit. But I think that is why it keeps happening, because I feel like in the past 5 years or so, maybe even longer, there had been this message from cyber professionals that like it's kind of the end user's fault, that like all those stats of like 85% of breaches happen due to human error, and like all those stats that come out and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's the user's fault, and then we shame them, which is useless. It is so useless to be like, hey, grandma, it's your fault that you reused your password and now you've gotten your identity stolen. Like, that's so useless to everyone. Now, I think there can be this reframe of like, yeah, humans are real humans. They're going to be on their computers and their phones doing stuff like that. How can we make our humans the first line of defense through educating them and using them as a positive, not just like, oh, all these stupid humans making stupid human error. I'm like, how about we flip the script on that one? How about we respond to human behavior and make it a positive? Yeah, like, why would we stop?
Yeah, for example, like you know that people are doing something, then maybe we can create a tool or like adjust the tool that we already have in a way to accommodate that. For example, we used to get a shit ton of spam emails and like phishing emails or like whatever, and now I don't know if you have, for example, a Gmail account. It's not nothing really gets to you. It's all in spam, also all filtered before it even got into your mailbox. So yeah, maybe let's do something like that because we know human are flawed creatures, and yeah, we are actually the weak link. So, but then maybe we can educate like everyone so they are aware of like the threats out there and like adjust the tools that we already have.
Love
So,
it.
what is your favorite food or dish? Like everyone, I'm a foodie, so that's also always like nice to know what people like to eat.
Definitely. I think if I can say just sushi blanketly, I think I would just go with like the large category of sushi. Um, my actual favorite like roll is unagi, which is freshwater eel. Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, the best. And it's like my safe food. I have it when I come back from like a conference and then need to like feel homey again. Yeah, I grew up eating a lot of Japanese food specifically, and so I feel like sushi is my go-to. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be married to a sushi chef.
No way.
Can you imagine? So actually, unagi roll is my favorite too.
What?
And the salmon nigiris actually, I love them too as well. But the unagi roll, I have the unagi roll with like the sweet sauce. How is it called? Uh,
I mean, is it just,
teriyaki.
oh yeah, with teriyaki? Oh,
Oh,
come on.
it's sweet
Delicious.
and sweet and sweet because the unagi is. Oh my God! And now my mouth is watering. Oh my God!
Delicious. Yes, if you're listening in or to this for the first time and you've never had eel, just try some unagi when you go to a sushi restaurant next time. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I have another question in the chat. I think that's will be the last question of the stream. So I'm happy that the person found the courage to ask it. Please ignore the. Okay, we'll skip that part. What strategies have you found most effective in communicating complex cybersecurity concepts to non-technical audience?
Fantastic question. The how on that is so crucial. So, step one is make sure that you're comfortable understanding the material yourself, right? Because that's, if you actually understand it, you will find it easier to explain to other people. That's sort of like a blanket experience, I would say. Second of all is cybersecurity, in my opinion, is super jargon heavy. Like people love their acronyms, people love the exclusivity of terms. Just know that you don't have to use those. There are other ways of explaining the information that's contained in that jargon. And if you are using jargon or like a specific term that you need to define or like you looked it up, define it in your own work. Do the work for people and explain it in your writing or in the video or whatever you're doing. Have like save them the time of Googling the thing that you Googled. So remember as you're learning what that process is like for you so that you can take someone on that journey when you create the content. There's no separation really between learning and teaching. It's just like a flip flop of that. So as you are learning, take note so that you can do that for someone else as well. My other practical tip would be never use your first draft. So when you write a first draft of anything, you don't have to delete it. Just keep it and then do a draft too. Feel free to like copy and paste it and then do draft two. But it's that same experience of like your first thought probably isn't your best one. At least give yourself grace to do a second version and like see what comes out because the first draft is always higgledy piggledy up in your head. You're including things that you're not sure you want to include. You're working it out. You're working out how you're going to tell a story. Have enough grace with yourself to do it again and do a draft too, and then see how that feels.
I love that. I love that.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Uh,
Love it.
uh, so no more questions, I guess, in the chat. Do you want to share? Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about the harp behind you.
Oh, yeah. There's my harp. I
Oh
grew
my
up
God, that's
playing,
so cool.
thanks. Yeah, I grew up playing Celtic and classical harp all through my life, really. But these days, I'll be real with you, it's kind of just decoration because I haven't been playing the last couple years because I realized that, like, I think from my childhood, a lot of people might be be in the same camp here. My parents made me play and made me practice like a lot. And then it kind of it wasn't fun anymore for a while. So I'm waiting until I feel like I want to go back and play and have it be really fun and beautiful. Like, cause it used to be like that. And then it became not like that. So, yeah, that's my instrument of choice though. Yeah.
Oh, so then if we are showing instruments, maybe I can show you mine.
What you got? What you got?
First time on camera, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
It's a PRS electric guitar, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's really beautiful. It has pearl mass birds on and here. I don't know.
Um, wow, wow, wow. Way to drop that on the stream.
Yeah, and
Wow.
look, because it's my favorite color, that shade of blue. So uh, I kind of got it because it's so pretty, and then I found out that actually the sound is immaculate. It's so perfect, and it's like a very good guitar, and it's anniversary edition, so it was cheaper than usually PRS guitars are. So yeah, I'm really proud of my of this one. And
How long
so
did what's the story?
so I'm also a beginner. So I started. Was my always had been my dream to sing in a band or play guitar. So I have a good voice, but I never did any of those things. So at least learning how to play a guitar would be a good start, I guess. And then when I will be good at it, I'm not good at it yet, so I'm just still learning. And as you said, I have yes, you did that because your parents kind of forced you into, so you didn't feel like it was fun. So I have those moments because I feel like I'm not super good at it, and that is really frustrating at times. So then I have to take a break when I feel like I'm super frustrated.
Yeah.
But then I listen to a lot of music. It's like I cannot really live without music. It's like I always have like a soundtrack there. So when I hear like a really cool song or the one that I knew from before, and yeah, oh, I wanted to learn, for example, uh, Jeremy from Pearl Jam. That's an example. So when I hear that song, I remember I wanted to learn how to play that song, and then I lurk for tabs, and I'm still trying to learn. So it's like it comes in waves because I'm super excited and playing, I'm practicing, and then I get super frustrated. Then I take a break for a few months, and then I have to, yeah, it's a journey, I would say.
Sounds like a beautiful journey because there's no one you can do with everything at your own pace because you want to.
Yeah.
That's the freedom of being an adult.
Yeah, that's being an adult is amazing, actually. Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But if I would meet a child, for example, that wants to be an adult, I would just explain to the child, you know what, enjoy being a child because being an adult is not that easy, but it's super complicated and sometimes it's hard. And paying taxes. So enjoy being a kid, play with your toys, and I don't know, being happy and running around without any worries. So enjoy that as much as you can and as long as you can. So yeah, uh, that would be my advice to little Dorothy as well. So, yeah, now I'm now I'm the big Dorothy, but I'm getting through my teenager era and learning. I'm doing all the things that yeah, the teenager Dorothy didn't, playing guitar and learning how to skateboard. So that's funny a bit,
Awesome.
but
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, I feel like if you and I ever end up at the same conference or like show, or heck, even if we're in the same country, we'll make it happen. You're gonna bring either your rollerblades or your longboard, and I'll bring my roller skates, and I kind of want to learn how to longboard too. So then we can go on like a skate date together. We'll go cruise around a conference.
that's actually pretty cool idea. And I could wear my Wonder Woman dress with the cape, so when I will be rollerblading, the wind, that's a super great effect. I love that idea.
Oh, you have to. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Let's plan that someday. That'll be our
Yeah,
goal.
actually, next year, not sure how that work out for me, but I'm planning to go to on DevCon and hopefully Black Hat as well.
Okay, sweet.
So, but and yeah, I'm sending my call for papers, so I will be also on the Wild West Hacking Fest.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it's in May. Uh, I don't know. We'll see because yeah, I'm getting into the keynote speaker uh, thing. That I'm
Okay.
starting to really like that. I was terrified of that, but now I really like that, and I'm starting to send my call for papers anywhere that I can get. So, and also like the last B-sides in Krakow was a huge success for me. I was surprised because I thought, I'm not sure why I thought that, but I thought no one will going to show. But actually, the room was filled with people, and they were like sitting on the floor and standing. There was no enough space for them to sit on the chairs. So I was like blown away, and it was like super amazing. So like actually one of the people that I met before I entered the room said, "Oh, I want to go and listen to this talk because Dorota is famous. She has like 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, I'm famous? Wow, wow.
Own it. Own it, girl. So
Yeah, but yeah,
awesome.
actually, it's like this all happened really fast. So I don't feel like I'm an influencer. I never wanted to be an influencer, but I think I'm good at it. And all I wanted to share is like to be kind to each other, to welcome women and like people that are maybe afraid to follow their dreams. As I was a bit scared when I was younger, so just to go ahead and do it because life is short and I don't know, you'll be yourself and you will be happy. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to share. And also because I'm learning and I'm learning a lot, like making my own notes. So sometimes I write posts from the things that I'm learning. So why not share that with the world? It's for free. I already found out what that is. Yeah, so maybe someone would find it useful. Okay, I'm talking a lot about myself. I wanted to ask if you have something to share with us at the end because I don't have any more questions. But I think you're amazing, so maybe you can come to my stream again someday. But if you have anything to say, go ahead.
Oh, yes, please. I'd love to come back. You're amazing, and the messages that you are promoting on LinkedIn, on your stream to individuals, like just keep it up because we need. I know we need you. Other people need you. I need you. So like, just keep doing it. Like I'm so proud of you. You're really living the like you can do it scared. You're talking about your fear, you're talking about the things that frighten you, and then like freaking 2 months later, you're like, I did it anyway. I'm doing it scared. And that is incredibly empowering. I'm sure, I hope for you, because it's sure empowering for others to hear. Like, and you're really living the idea of fear not being the thing that holds you back. So just kudos to you. Just really, really impressed and super excited to continue supporting you in any way I can. Super excited to know someone famous. Pretty cool. And yeah, anyone who's on the stream, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Bronwen Hudson. You'll see my headshot, so hopefully I look pretty much the same. Uh, Drop me a message if you'd like. Happy to send you whatever resources I can. If you want to talk about marketing, if you want to talk about social media, writing, roller derby, cyber stuff, women in cybersecurity, queer people in cybersecurity, please, my DMs are open. Especially if you are a fan of Dorota, I'm pretty sure you're going to be a cool person. So um, feel free to drop in there. And you can follow the page that I Reveal Risk is the company that I'm working for now. So all of that content that's coming through is cool, and trying to make as much educational stuff as well as some fun stuff like the Hacker Movies blog that we're doing. So come on over and join us on there if you want to see like what my work is as well. That would be super fun to have my people on there too. Yeah. And thank you so much for having me. I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
yeah, I really enjoyed that stream. Actually, I yeah. So yeah, I was running a bit late, so I was a bit stressed. But then you gave me so much positive energy, and yeah, you're a super kind person, and it's just amazing. So thank you for I don't know, you gave me some good energy here, so I'm really grateful. And I'm really happy that I invited you and that I met you, and actually that you invited me to your podcast. So everything works.
Woo!
And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So I think I was supposed to meet you in my life. I will find out what the reason exactly was, but just to have a great friend is a good enough reason for me. So yeah, so this is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, 100% right back at you. And the only thing I would add is that it sounds like one of the reasons we might have met is so that we can have a sick roller skate Wonder Woman, and maybe I'll be your sidekick or something. Cause like that photo, that video, that yeah, I've got it all penciled out of here.
Yeah,
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 it's gonna,
I'm imagining that as well.
yeah, okay, cool. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'll catch you on LinkedIn soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. Bye.